Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you're doing really well. It is about 7:30 in the morning. I've been awake for quite some time now. It's a sleepy morning. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Yahya Kazi. I run the operations for a company called Goosify, which is on a platform called Skool.com. If you are familiar with Skool, then you hopefully know who we are. We are like the face of the Skool ads. We run the world tour / the Skool IRLs. We do a bunch of stuff on the platform, and I think we're fairly successful. So I wanted to teach other people how to be in the position that I'm in because nobody taught me, and I had to learn most of these things on my own through trial and error. And hopefully you can learn these lessons and not have to struggle as much as I did, though it is still a very difficult position no matter what. But at the same time, teaching you will also teach me how to get better at my job. So I think this is a huge win-win. And even if I wasn't learning from it, I just want to be sharing these lessons because I want to save the world, I guess. Anyway, in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you the next step. Before I was telling you about a routine and your mindset and everything. Today, I'm going to be teaching you about actually getting hired as an operator. Now, if you're already an operator, obviously this doesn't apply to you unless you're trying to find another job. But it's very important to start from the beginning because a lot of people are at the beginning. So if I go from the absolute beginning and work my way up, eventually I'll get to your level and be able to give you a lesson that I've learned. So bear with me. Even if this doesn't apply to you, it should be useful for you to know. So maybe you could teach your friends, maybe you can teach yourself in the future whenever you need this skill. Maybe it is applicable to something else in your life. In fact, I think it absolutely will be because it includes a lot of networking and relationship building. And that's always a skill that's extremely important in business. So to get to the video, first we're going to start off in the Skoolers community. So if you don't know, you have to have a community either on the $9 hobby plan on Skool or the $99 a month plan on Skool to be able to access this Skoolers community. But the first lesson that you guys should know for today is you do have to spend a little bit of money to make money. Don't just start spending your money wildly. That's actually one of the hard lessons that I learned in my journey. But a little bit, in the past, people used to pay hundreds, thousands of dollars to go to masterminds, to go to different rooms where rich people were. Now you can pay $9 a month to be in the same room as a billionaire, a millionaire. I actually don't know if he's a millionaire, but he's making $10K a month. Extremely powerful, probably almost a millionaire. But like plenty of people that are very, very powerful, very rich, very well connected, and very helpful, I should say, in that they have tons of lessons that they're more than willing to share with other people. In fact, here we go. I share 3 reasons why the Skool games can change your life. There are a bunch of lessons here about Skool games and school in general. And you'll see this constantly in the Skool community. In fact, it's encouraged that people share the lessons that they've learned along the way. So that's one thing, is you'll see these people and you'll see these posts that they make teaching other people lessons that they've learned, but also you have access to the people themselves. Now, I wouldn't go around DMing people randomly asking for favors or anything like that, but as you can see in the Skoolers community, there's weekly calls. And this is where the most powerful networking is calls. Like in this community, I would highly recommend you do 2 things. One, you engage on these posts, no matter who they are, whether they're very powerful or some name that you've never heard before. Engage with these posts, engage with these people, take care into what they're saying, and try to think of a good response to say this post, right? What would you respond if you didn't have an agenda, you weren't trying to get anything from them, you just wanted to build a relationship with them, which is exactly what you're doing here. You're not trying to get anything out of it, you're just building relationships. The second thing which again, like I said, is most important, and I'll tell you why in a second, is joining these calls. So in Schoolers community, there are weekly calls. Whatever you're spending your time on otherwise, make it your absolute priority to make calls like this. Weekly group calls are so important because in the community, another thing that's while it is incentivizing engagement and incentivizing people to share lessons they've learned, it's also incentivizing a lot of people to make their entire day, entire week, entire life centered around just engaging. You'll notice a lot of people that are the same, like you'll see the same name pop up over and over and over again in each community that you go to. Not just the Schoolers community, but any community, you will see that same name pop up and up and up again and again and again. And what you'll notice over time is that these people aren't really doing anything else. They're not working on their business. They're not really going anywhere in life. They're just kind of there. And in all honesty, I'm a blunt person. I'm sorry. But what you'll notice the difference is, though, is that more often than not, the actual doers, the people that are wanting to implement the lessons that they learn into their business, are the ones that are joining the calls. And the reason for that is because it takes more of an investment, either because some communities you have to pay for to be in, more likely because they have more access to, like, say, calls, the group calls. And even without paying for the community, there's still a time investment, right? More often than not, people will stop at the first barrier that keeps them from going through business. Like, you'd be very surprised that 90% of people are at the absolute bottom, will not join a call, will not pay $9 a month to join the Skool community, will not do anything to actually improve their business. But you can get access to that 10% by taking one step, by adding a call, a weekly call to your calendar, and then meeting those people on these calls. So in the Schoolers community, I highly recommend you do that, but also in other communities as well. If I go to the Discovery page, I will see plenty of different communities across different niches and everything that may or may not apply to me, right? Maybe I'm interested in working for somebody that's very interested in scent. Maybe I'm somebody that's very into educational content, right? Maybe I'm, well, here's a great example. Here's my creators community, I guess. We love fun and making business fun and also saving the world. And so if you're into that, if you're into working for someone like that, this might be the community for you, because this community attracts people like that. And we also have weekly calls, which this community is free, by the way. We have a ton of different calls that you can join, or even if you don't want to join those calls, plenty of engagement that you can meet other people. But again, I highly recommend, no matter the community, you join those weekly calls so that you can meet people and you can connect. Now, the second thing, now that you know how to start finding people, once you just start going through the Discovery page and finding communities that you're interested in, you can find those people and you know how to interact with them, either through commenting on posts, engaging with them, just telling them or showing them essentially that you care, and then joining these calls either in free communities or especially in paid communities. Again, there's more of a sacrifice there, which means more high quality clients and customers will be in those communities that you can network with, build relationships with. Not to say that the other people don't matter, but if you're trying to work for someone, you want to work for someone that's actually doing something. Now, next thing on the list is, like, how do you start getting that conversation into being about, say, working for that person? Now, it might be the most uncomfortable thing in the world for you. I'm even a little uncomfortable talking about it right now, because you're asking someone what feels like a favor to you, right? It's a stepping stone in your career to be able to work for someone else that is more successful than you, that has skills that complement yours. Maybe they're better as the face of the brand, and then you're better as the back end, dealing with the team, setting up SOPs and systems and shit like that. I don't even know what I do, but having these skills complement each other, and yet you being so far down the ladder in terms of like experience and skill and everything, that will change your life if they hire you, right? So you're like almost, you're shaking in your boots thinking about it. And so what I would say to that is think about your intention, right? It's like having a business. If you've ever tried to run a business, you're also thinking that same thing. It's like someone's paying you money. But what's really happening is you're supposed to be thinking about how much value you're giving to that person. And I hate saying value, it's like overused now, but think about it, right? If someone pays you to, do their, like renovate their house or something, then, they're paying you, but they're not just paying you for no reason. They're paying you because you're providing something. And that's how transactions should feel when you're a business owner or operator or whatever, is you are providing something to your creator, to your customers, to your stakeholders, your employees or whatever. Like, you need to think of it that way. And so once you start thinking of it that way, it stops being as icky of a feeling, because you're not just thinking about like, how can I get this person to help me succeed, right? You don't want to think that way. You don't want to think, how can this person help me? You want to think, how can I help other people, right? And then, get rewarded for it, because there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get rewarded for that. So how do we do that? How do we get into that conversation? Well, when you join these calls, people will just naturally start talking to you, right? Especially in bigger communities. If you join, say, like this one has 29,000 people in it. There are like, I think there are weekly calls in this one. Yeah, so like, I don't know about this community specifically, but I've joined other communities in the past where they will have these weekly calls, and they will sometimes, if it's like a big enough call, they will go into breakouts. If it's a small enough call, it's already intimate enough. And at some point, you'll get called on. Even if you're, like, as long as you have your camera on and you have a mic, even if you're not using it in the beginning, just having a good mic or a decent mic, you will start to get called on. People will start to put you in the spotlight and wonder what you're doing there, right? In our community, we do that especially as well. Like, if you've ever joined any of the calls, the creator Goose, he will call on people and tell them to introduce themselves and everything. Why? Because they want to see what you have. They want to see what you provide, what you bring to the table. And even if you don't know what you're doing, you have no idea where to start, you don't know what direction you want to take, what your next steps should be, just being open and honest with that is enough for a lot of people, because they want you to be honest. They want to know the real you, to connect with you, to build a relationship with you. Now, once you've started these relationships, planting this seed of like, hi, I'm a new person, I'm here, I'm someone that wants to develop and grow just like everyone else. Over time, you'll start to hear other people talk about their problems, talk about their skills, talk about their passions, everything, and you'll start to see the similarities between you and them, right? Like, again, if you're in this community, you'll see all these random ass posts, like this person. Perfect example. This is an artist, right? If you're an artist, or you're an operator that's interested in working for an artist, which there are plenty of communities that do art and make money off of it, then this would be the perfect person for you, right? Maybe you don't want to work for them, but there's someone that you can connect with and relate with and build a relationship with, because that person knows other people in the community, in other communities as well, because relationships spread like wildfire, on Skool. And I do want to take a note on that as well, is like Skool is the absolute best place for that, of just really organic relationship building. And so another thing is be patient, right? Once you build a relationship with someone, it's not like you can immediately just start like asking them for stuff. Just start, having fun. If you're new to Skool, or even if you've been on Skool for a while, like a big thing is being patient. When you're building relationships and everything, there's no reason to be rushing into it, because a relationship is supposed to last a long time. It's not something you get and then it's just there forever. It's something you constantly work on. So over time, as you build a relationship, you can start to see if somebody is lacking something. Maybe it will be on a call or in the community. Someone will say, hey, I have been struggling to find somebody to do this task for me. Like, I have no time in the day because I'm spending all my time filling out a spreadsheet or something. Some task that they don't want to do anymore. It will more often than not be some like random task. Like it won't often be like, I need someone to fix my entire business from the ground up and hire a team for me and do all this stuff. It'll just be like some random thing that they think they absolutely need, but they just want. And that will be the perfect opportunity for you to be like, hey, I'm looking for some work, or I would love to help you out. And there are two ways to go about this. Either you ask them for money or you ask them for a testimonial. If you're just starting out, please do not ask someone to pay you if you have no experience, if you don't really know what you're doing, if you're figuring it out on the fly. Be honest, be open. Tell them, hey, I don't have a ton of experience. Maybe I have a little bit of experience. Maybe I've got medium experience. Maybe I loved, I don't know, filling out spreadsheets as a kid. But I want to do this for you for free, because I just want to help people. And if they love your work, if they think you did a great job, then ask them for a testimonial. Say, hey, I heard, maybe they'll tell you, hey, you did a great job. Thank you so much. And definitely try your best to do a great job. Work your ass off. Research how to do a task. Anything you can to make it as solid of a solution as possible. And once they're thanking you, they're congratulating you, they're happy to have connected with you, say, hey, if it's not too much to ask, I'd love to ask for a quick testimonial. It would really help me in helping other people with this same issue in the future. You could say exactly that, and it's a totally respectable thing to ask for. Now, when you ask someone for a testimonial, make sure you give them a bullet point script of what they should talk about, what they should say about you. It's not that person's responsibility to know what to say, right? Just give them a bullet point list, say, of, what the work was, how long we worked together, what you really liked about it, and would you recommend me to someone else? Like, what would you say to someone that's asking about me? And they'll be more than willing to do it. I'm sure if you did a great job, then they'll do it. And again, this won't be it won't happen immediately. You'll have to be patient. And also, getting one client does not mean you'll get a million more. You might get one client, and then it's very silent for a while, and then another client, and then silent for a while. And these aren't even paying clients. These are free clients. So be patient. Don't immediately jump in and everything unless you have enough savings and everything. It's okay to take your time a little bit for a few months, get to know, say, the platform or technology in general, or relationship building and stuff like that, and just having fun. And then once you feel like you've gotten a little bit of experience in a specific task or many tasks, and you've got a couple testimonials and everything, then you can start quitting your job. You can start trying to make your first dollar, even trying to ask someone if you can work for them full time. And so how you would do that after these few months of giving, and asking for very small things in return, a testimonial, for example, then you'll have a bit of experience. You'll have a ton of connections from all these people that you've met, and they've given you their good grace. And and you've basically got a Skool resume. So as you're building your way up, you can start to meet more and more powerful people. Maybe they just vibe with you because of your personality. Maybe they see how hardworking you are. They hear from other people how hardworking you are, and they just want to connect with you. Who knows? The main thing is that stay calm. Don't ask everyone for basically this favor of working for them. In fact, the more powerful people that you meet, the more you want to try to be like you do want to, like, there should be no shame in asking them for work, asking them if you can be helpful to them, but you want to be extremely careful about like what you're asking for in return, right? If it's someone that's very rich or powerful or whatever, think about the long term of not working for them, but who might they know in their network that you would want to work with. And I've experienced that before. That's actually exactly how I got in this position. Is there was someone that I thought would be great to work for, but I thought, what if I hold my cards and I just stay connected with this person? I do odd jobs for them every once in a while, and I see who they've got in their network, right? And at the same time treating them as a human being. Obviously, I want to be very cautious about what I say. Like, this is a business, a very personal thing, right? With relationship building, it's not just LinkedIn corporate networking. This is actually making friends, and that's actually how I think about it. Networking, the word networking, I don't even think of it as networking. I think of it as, I want to meet this person. I want to get coffee with this person. I want to learn their story and connect with them and see, like, is there any way that I could help them? Is there anyone that I could connect them with? Is there anything, or anyone that maybe they know that they could connect me with? Like, it should be thought of as like, this is someone I want to add to my tribe, right? So as you're doing that, as you're going down that road, you'll start to see some doors open up, and it's a great idea to ask the people that you know, the connections that you're making, the powerful people, ask them if they know anybody else that's looking for work. So like I said, holding your cards close, you're not just trying to ask everyone if you can work for them full time or otherwise. Say, hey, I'm looking for work. Do you know anyone that could need this service? No shame in asking. No shame in asking. I love when people ask me that question because I love connecting people. And so if you feel fearful of asking that, just know that not only are you thinking about it as relationship building, or you should try to get it in your head, but they are as well, right? The most powerful people got there because of this relationship building, because they cared so much about building these connections, these actual human connections, rather than just using people. So they know very well where you came from. They've been there before, I'm sure. If not this person, then I'm sure 9 others that you've met have been there. Every successful person has their story, has their come up and everything. And as long as they know that you're someone that's trying their best, you're someone that's good and decent, they will try to help you out any way they can. So reach out to them, say, hey, I'm looking for work. Do you happen to know anyone that's looking for someone to work for them, that's got an open position? I'm not looking for much. I'm just looking for, I don't know, $500 a month, $500, not 500,000 or whatever. Like, just looking for a little bit, working your way up. And even if that's too much, $250. And if that's too much, you feel like to ask, then that's good, because it should be. You should feel a little uncomfortable asking. But then you'll start getting more experience, right? You'll start finding people that may even have a full-time job for you. And that was essentially how I got my start. Like I implied before, like, I started making connections. I started going through the community, engaging with people. I started going on these calls, engaging with people. Even if I didn't say something, someone would ask me if I wanted to get on a call with them. And that person would have a network, and they would want to work with me or help me out in some way, and I would want to help them out in some way. And then over time, I started building this network of people, like an entire hub of people that I loved talking to. I would talk to them regularly, and they knew what I was doing. I knew what they were doing. I would try to help them out. They would try to help me out. And over time, I specifically remember one day I got on a call with my creator, Goose, and he started by saying, and I knew Goose for a while because I was in his community, right? Like, and that's another thing is if you're in someone's community, that's the biggest reason why you should be in a community that you enjoy, that interests you, because you can connect with the person that runs the community, right? That person themselves, especially if it's a smaller community, if you're on those weekly calls, you get to know them way more than anyone else that's just commenting and posting, because most creators don't really go through the community that much. But on the calls, they're there. They're on the call. They're the one hosting it. So you'll be able to meet them. But anyway, so I met Goose a long time ago. We like got to know each other through these calls over time. I got to see him in real life a couple times because of just the way that Skool is. Just incentivized that. We lived near each other. And then I remember one time he asked me to get on a call with him while he was doing a rebrand. It was just him by himself. And he told me that someone else that I knew, someone very powerful, that again was one of those people that I was like, I want to see who's in their network. I want to, like get to know them and not use them, but just see who they have, right? Like build that relationship with them, and be like, try not to ask for favors because I know that this is a long-term thing. And this person that I had also known for a really long time had really great things to say about me because of my work ethic. Like I've done odd jobs for them, and they thought they were great. They've connected me with clients before. Those clients said that I did a great job, and they told Goose that if he didn't hire me, they would. So that's pretty high praise, right? And this was over the span of, I would say, probably 5 months, which for some of you, like if you've been in old business, that's very short. If you're in new business, that's a really long time, but it is extremely fast for, like, say, the average experience, right? Like being able to connect at that level is, again, why I say Skool is extremely powerful for that, and extremely helpful, and why I highly recommend you are on Skool. Not a plug or anything, just my genuine thoughts as someone that has benefited from it. Just know that it's not guaranteed, and you're going to have to suffer through a lot. I suffered through a lot. I got plenty of slaps in the face. It wasn't a perfect journey, but because I kept with it, people noticed. Because I kept going, whenever I got slapped in the face, I kept going, people noticed me. They would talk about me, and eventually got me to where I am now. So that's it for this video. That's just part 2, I guess, of the operating journey. So if you want more of these, let me know in the comments. Love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.